watch videos, make notes of what I was going to say at the
That's
interview.
good. Hi, everyone. I hope you're all doing great and getting ready for the holidays. Today, we have a recruit that's joining us for an interview. His name is Ivan Wularu. He's from Ghana. He's one of our recruits that came from Ghana this year, and we are so excited to have him join us today. Hi, Ivan.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. How is everything going so far?
It's fine so
How
far.
are you adjusting, adapting to the weather, to your new, city and things like that?
Well, that's like the number one thing everyone coming from Africa is gonna find difficult.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
change of weather and
so yeah,
okay, okay, awesome. So Ivan, I know I met you in Ghana when I was in Ghana in March,
yeah,
and we talked about recruiting, and I think we chatted a little bit because I remember you asking a lot of questions when we had our meeting with the players, and I'm like, oh wow, this kid is really interested. So I remember you asking a lot of questions. So I want you to take us through that journey.
okay,
Right after we met, we started working together. You got a scholarship. You came here. I want you to take us through that whole process. So other players who are coming from an English speaking country specifically, because the process might be different from different countries. French
yeah,
countries, they have to do some additional stuff that English speaking countries don't have to do. So
yeah.
can you take us through that process, how it is, how you navigate that? Because you did an amazing job. You were communicating a lot, and I appreciate that. That was very helpful, right? So you were always communicating. So I want you to take us through that, so other your peers who are trying to come here, other players can learn from your experience and go from there. Okay,
Okay, yeah, okay. So first of all, thank you for having me here today.
of course.
Yeah, so I remember this whole journey started from this tournament I won um, back in Ghana.
Okay.
I think I posted a video on Instagram, and you actually reached out and you asked whether I wanted to play college tennis.
Yeah, I'm sure I did. Yeah.
And yeah, but it wasn't something that was new to me, but I didn't really have the interest at that time. So
Okay.
and after you texted me, I just had to reach out and we had that kind of conversation and everything. So I went back to do my own research and stuff, and I found out a lot of players on tour actually went to college, and it was weird. So I I actually like this guy who is on tour, JJ Wolf,
Mm-hmm.
and I never knew he went to college.
Went to college.
I never knew Isna went to college. I never knew Kevin Anderson went to college.
Yes.
So I just had to go do research, and I was like, wow. So all these guys were able to manage school and tennis, because growing up, I heard combining both of those are like almost impossible.
I know. That's what we all heard. Yeah.
So I was like, wow, then let me actually try to do something. So I think I reached out to you, and you had a couple of schools in mind. So we started working. I remember you introduced Iowa to me first, but um, I think I didn't have my WASI certificate or something
Yeah.
yet.
This the graduation says. Yeah.
That's cool. And you introduced Lane to me, and
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, let me just give it a try, because I wanted to do computer science and they had it. So
Awesome. Okay.
right. And so I actually applied to the school, and they had a very lengthy process. Because with Lane, you had to do an academic evaluation, and that's like a separate thing. So you have to go register for that.
Mm-hmm.
I used academic evaluation services. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to send all my transcripts and everything to them, and
Right.
I paid a fee, and I think I got it within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because they sent it directly to the school, and they also mailed a copy to me. So yeah, and after that I got my admission and all that. But um the process is actually different if you don't know someone who knows a coach, because you have to go do your own research. Probably you want to play D1,
Mm-hmm.
you might actually go to Google and just type probably D1 schools in the USA. And maybe when you get it, the D1 school, probably let's say Mississippi State University. I'm just using it as an example.
Yeah.
Probably just type Mississippi State University tennis team or whatever. When you click on it, you're gonna see the coach's email, and
It was, yeah.
you can reach out to the coach like directly. And the number one thing the coach is gonna check before he even replies your message is your UTR. So sometimes we email coaches, and when the coach is not interested, the coach is not gonna reply you,
Yeah.
because
They
uh,
don't.
let's be real. Coaches check their their emails like every 24 hours because they want players. So let's say if they're not reaching out to you within 2 or 3 days, you have to go look for another option. So yeah. Um, and I think after you probably get a school or something, you start probably negotiating with the coach. And sometimes the coach uses your UTR to determine the amount of money he or she can give you. And probably, let's say you come into the USA with probably a UTR 9 or 10 or something. That's a good UTR for someone who wants to probably come play D2 or NAIA. But for D1, um, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna
I don't think that's even
it's
possible anymore.
probably you might get on the team, but you might not get any money. But
You
coming from,
might not even be on the in the lineup.
yeah, coming from Africa, you need money to go to school.
Right.
So, yeah, and so after you negotiate and everything with the coach, probably some coaches might just tell you to apply to the school first because they don't know if you're gonna get in into the
Right.
school. So probably some will tell you to go apply. After you get it, then we talk. So um after you get all that, the admissions, your I-20 comes in. Um that's like, what should I say? The happiest like first step.
Right. Well,
You know,
that means you got into the school. So
yeah,
yeah.
that's like a joy. Like it makes every player would be happy to receive their I-20, and I was very happy when I received mine because I had to go through a lot. Yeah, I had to go through a lot, so I was very happy. I remember I reached out to you, and I was so happy, and probably you didn't understand. Yeah, so after you go I-20, it should state the amount of athletic scholarship you're gonna get, and everything.
Right.
So
And how much you have to come up
yeah, and how much
as a
you.
player too. Hmm.
So that also leads to the starting part. Anytime you email a coach or reach out to a coach, the coach is gonna ask you what is your budget.
Now that's well, that's a new thing now. You know,
What is
because when I was coming, there wasn't anything like what's your budget, right? So if you're good, the coach will be like, okay, I can bring on a full scholarship,
yeah,
things like that. But
yeah,
now it doesn't matter if you're good, your UGR is high.
you
The coach
still
will still ask if you have a budget, unless you are top 50 ITF junior player.
exactly.
Then they just recruit you. Or you're a really good player and your UGR is high. Some coaches, if they have enough money, they'll give you a full ride up front.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's true, and now it's very hard to get a full ride because it's also competitive, and it's not like you getting a full ride means probably you coming onto the team you're gonna beat everyone up like 12-0, 12-0 or something, and that's hard because there some coaches might not be able to give you all the money. Probably if you're on a team with probably Americans, that's fine because an American will always find money to pay for school. They
Well,
have
I mean, the school system is
yeah,
very helpful. Yeah.
FASA or something like that.
Well, they have FEFSA and they do have in-state tuition. They have a
Yeah.
lot because if you go to college in states, your tuition is a little low, is lower than out of states. Yeah.
So well, yeah. All Americans would obviously get money to pay for school. So
Not
probably
all of them, but if let's say if you're international and you have the same level as an American player, they will have a full ride first if they're going like the school is in state and they're
okay.
American. So they have a lot of scholarships. Schools have scholarships available for them to apply to get, and it makes it easier for them to be able to go to school. But as an international, not only the international tuition is higher because you're out of state, you're out of the country, and on top of that, if you have the same level, why should we give you a full scholarship when we
Yeah,
can have an American player with the same level?
that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's and that all comes up to you probably playing a lot of tournaments to get a UTR before you come to college. That's
Right.
our advice. You
Yeah,
take part
that's it. I like
rate
your point. It's really important to play a lot of tournaments just to get to bring up your UTR or your WTN, right? So you have to get a good ranking.
because with me coming up I didn't really used to do I didn't really I played a lot of tournaments but they were not on the UTR, so it didn't really tell anything.
Yeah, it
So
didn't help you much. Yeah.
so yeah. And um but again I
Yes.
think
Yeah. Tell us through your process. Like after you got your I-20, what did you do next? Yeah.
um so after I got my I-20, I just went to buy my visa forms
Okay.
and I started filling the DS-160. I don't know if that's the same thing you guys call it,
It's still, yeah, it's the same thing everywhere. Yeah.
160. And after I linked it to my visa forms, and I had to wait for an appointment date. All the appointment dates were in 2024, and I wanted to come to school in like June. That's like fall, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
fall.
You're trying to come in the fall season. Yeah.
I was trying to come in the fall, and all the available dates were in 2024. So I was so disappointed, and I really won't lie to anyone who is going to go through this process. It's sometimes very discouraging, but you just have to push through it. Just met someone who was willing to help, but he was gonna take money for it. So
Mhm.
yeah, I
So
had to
you're talking about helping you get the schedule an appointment for your interview.
that that that
Same thing is happening all over Africa now. Like,
really.
yeah,
I
now
thought
it's really hard to get an appointment.
I thought it was easier in other countries. I thought
No, no. Uh, we have few players come from Togo for the spring semester. Well, for the fall, yeah, and we pay for them to get an appointment. All three,
it
yeah, even four, they paid. So now I think that's the norm now. But
the girls.
yeah, the girls. But I remember the U.S. Embassy came out one time and they made an announcement saying that people should stop paying people to get an appointment because the system is open to everybody. The problem is when you go to book, you see that is way like a year, you're a
Yeah,
year behind, So then people are now forced to pay to get an appointment if they want to travel like within the same month or less next 2 3 months.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was just Ghana.
No, it's everywhere.
So yeah, after I got my appointment, I think when I reached out to this guy, he just gave me a date within like 2 days. So I had to go for my appointment the following week.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And I remember going through this whole like appointment process. I used to watch videos, make notes of what I was going to say at the
That's
interview.
good. That's really good. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. And I had to watch all these videos about passing your interview and on your first attempt and all those stuff because I wasn't gonna afford to lose this chance.
Um,
Yeah, so I had to do all this stuff, make a lot of notes. I still have these notes in my bag. It's crazy sometimes when I'm going through stuff and I see it, I just sometimes just laugh and I'm like, okay.
yeah,
Well,
because you prepared. You were well prepared. That's why
yeah,
the interview went well for you. You
and
didn't just sit at home, wait for the day. You were preparing for that.
no. So a day before the interview, actually, I had to get all my stuff in. I'm sorry, and sorry, I forgot about the service fee part. Yeah, you do have to pay your service fee
The
before you,
service fee. Okay.
and that's about $350. Yeah. So at first it was like you had to pay like 2 days prior to your interview, but now it's like an instant thing. When you just pay, you get the message and all that, the receipt.
Okay. Okay.
And so a day before my interview, I actually didn't sleep. I didn't sleep. I was
Hi.
I was
You're
just
nervous.
I was reciting these stuff that I wrote. I just had to put it in my head because I had prepared for all the questions. Why are you traveling to the United States? What are you gonna study? What are your plans after school? Why do you play tennis? And all these questions, I had answers to almost all the possible questions they would have asked me. So yeah, I just had to stay up. I was
That's well prepared.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah, good job.
So um, the day of the interview, I think I left the house around 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. Yeah, but I had my interview around 9. That's crazy, right? So just had to keep my cool. I scanned my passport that day. I For me, people say I don't usually smile, but I smiled the whole time from the house. From the house, I smiled till I got to the point of the interview. So when I went to scan my passport, I was smiling, and I'm sure this lady was would have been saying in her head, "Why is this guy smiling like?" So I was smiling the whole time. They
So you
might
have to be confident, right? Basically, show up, be confident, do your homework. So when you show up there, you're confident that I did my homework and I'm ready to go to the interview.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That. So
So what
yeah.
happened after that? After the interview, you got your visa. Then what was next?
So after I got the visa, for African parents, you have to still convince them after that. So after I got it, my dad actually still wasn't convinced about letting me go to the States because I'm a twin and um
Whoa, I didn't know that.
my twin played the tournament in March.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me? I didn't know you had a twin.
You didn't know?
No. Who?
I thought Gabby told you.
No.
Really? Wow.
I didn't know. If I knew you were a twin, I would have met your twin.
Really?
Before. Yeah, I didn't know you were a twin.
Thought you met her. She was there the whole time.
Oh, that's nice. No, I didn't meet her.
Yeah, so um my dad wasn't in support because he has never separated us since we were
Since
kids.
you guys, yeah. So he's like, yeah, why now?
Yeah, so why now? And he actually also wanted to work out something for my sister, but it was kind of like too late. So, well, I just had to speak to my mom to speak to him because that's like the only way you can get to your dad.
Yeah.
Well, for me. So she spoke to him, and the following day, I think I was on the court, and he gave me a call, and he asked me to provide him with some details, and I didn't know what he was using the details for, but he just came back after like 2 hours, and he was like, he booked my flight, and I was like, what?
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, that was crazy. So after that, Well, they just kind of like advised me and all that, like coming to the States, some stuff you'd see, because he has been here and all that. So,
Hmm.
um, probably some kind of advice and all that. Like, probably when you come here, don't forget where you're coming from and all those.
Of course.
Yeah. So, yeah,
That's good.
I like all that advice also moves me every day. So, it kind of like motivates me because I know now I'm here and I'm open to a lot of opportunities. So I just don't have to mess up. Yeah.
That's good. That's good that you have your head on your shoulders. That's really good. Um, so tell us when you got here, talk to us about the culture shock, food that you like, how you navigate through everything.
Food is number one. I didn't like the food at all. Because with Ghana, we are used to a lot of spices. We put a lot of spices in our food.
Yeah.
But with here, geez. I was I remember my first time going to the cafeteria and I saw this stew and I was like, ooh, let me try it. So I tried this too, and I was like, what is this? Cause like I didn't no like no spices, nothing. I just felt like they had just like blended the tomatoes and they said it was
So
stew,
no seasoning.
and I was like, no. So
Okay.
I really struggled to get used to the food because I had to eat fries every day. I had to eat fries, the roll. So my like first week or first 2 weeks here, my eating was very one way, but I just decided to open up because
Yeah.
if I didn't, I would probably be doing the same thing till who knows when.
Yeah. Yeah. So you didn't have the opportunity to cook, right?
No, our dorms had these fire alarms and we were not allowed to cook. So
Okay. So let's say, what would you tell somebody who's coming on a scholarship? We have two players coming. What would you tell them before coming? What should they bring so that they don't go through what you went through?
the number one thing I would advise is please try to get the best offer you can.
Hmm.
Don't don't rush things. Don't rush things because back in Africa, almost everyone has this perception that life here is easy, and life here isn't as easy as you think.
Right. It's not easy.
Yeah,
I'm
but
glad you mentioned that because people think everything is easier
yeah,
here.
I think everything is easy here, and every single dollar you get, you have to work for it. Every single dollar you get, every single dollar you get, you have to. It's not. There's no free money here.
There's no free money. It doesn't grow on trees.
And I just want to say this because even with me, I've got like some family here, but I can still see things are tough. So I'm just trying to imagine someone coming here with no family or anything, and
Yeah.
not getting a good offer. That's gonna be very tough because when you come here, you have to go get your social security and all that before you can even start working.
On
And
campus. Yeah. Working on campus. Yeah.
let's see, not even maybe at least or at most probably a month or something.
Yeah.
So that means your first month or anything you can't work or anything. So
Yep. Yep. That's true.
and that's stuff. So I'll just say please try to get your the best offer you can. The best offer you can. People think even raising $3,000 is not easy.
Yeah, I mean, because you're working, you're paying, they're paying you student wage, which is not a lot.
Yeah,
And you have to train, you have to go to class. And on top of that, how long will you work to make enough money to
exactly.
make those payments? And you have to buy your
Exactly.
toiletries, your own things that you have to attend to.
And one thing you'd never hear is the hours an international student can work a week. You can just work 20 hours. Probably
Right.
if you
It's
have
limited because if you work too much too,
yeah,
they'll revoke your F1 visa.
probably if you have probably a boss who can pay you under the tables or something, probably that's fine. But you can just work 20 hours a week as an international student on campus, and you can work off campus too. That's
Exactly. You cannot work off
can
campus.
run off campus jobs through your social security. You might just get into trouble. So um I just say get the best offer you can.
Hmm.
If your coach is gonna give you money and your deficit is gonna be about $3,000, please just try to raise some money from home.
Before coming,
Yeah,
yeah. Or
actually,
get a sponsor, or get a
yeah,
mentor, or have your family prepared to take care of
yeah.
those that for you.
So that's where it all comes down to communication. You have to
Yeah.
talk. You've got to talk to people before you get here, because people might think $3,000 is easy. It's not. It's not.
So tell us, like, through that process, how was your communication with school? I know you're communicating a lot with me. How were you keeping that communication open so you make sure you get everything done, that you don't miss anything? Because I know people don't know this, but communication is important.
Yeah. So with me, my first, let's say my first month here, I was really quiet. I was really, really quiet, and I wasn't really talking to people. I go to class. I was just trying to mind my own business and all that. But I saw it was really affecting me. It was really, really affecting me because um, as much as we know good people are not here, there are some people who are really willing to help.
Right. If you open up to them.
Once you open up to them, they are really willing to help. So I'm not saying go around and be telling people your problems or anything, but at least just talk to people.
Yeah, like your coach, your academic advisors, um, anybody in the international office,
Yeah,
people that can really support
like
you. You're right.
even even your lecturers, you
The
you know
teachers, yep.
your teachers, they are like um the ones who are really gonna help you throughout your journey, because they know a lot of people here. Even if I had this Korean lecturer who was like teaching me foundations of computing, and he actually like took me in and he was teaching me a lot of stuff even outside the class, because I remember he got me a winter coat and all that. Yeah, because he was like,
That's nice.
really got to prepare for this.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Went to the University of Texas. Yeah, Texas. So um, he did teach me a lot of stuff, and he was like, he understands how this whole international process is, and he knows how tough it is coming from outside the country to come school here.
Hmm.
You're really going to go through a lot of stuff, and believe me, what you're gonna go through your first semester, you've probably not seen anything, because people keep telling me that what I'm going through, it's nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
but it
are,
gets better with time.
yeah,
With time you have experience and you be
you
able to navigate everything.
you would get used to it, and you should, because you can't do anything about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number one advice. Please get the best offer you can before you come here. Don't rush stuff. Um, if you're coming from Africa, well, I don't know the kind of homes probably each individual player would be coming from, but if you're going to a school and you are supposed to pay about $10,000 or $20,000 a year, wow, I really want to see what the coach is gonna offer you, because that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for international kids.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a lot. Probably you can pay for it. So, well, if you can, that's fine. But you do have to find the best offer you can,
Right.
because you can't be stranded in someone's country. Yeah.
Money. So what about the culture shock? When you got here, what shocked you culturally? Things
Um,
that you saw here that were not in Ghana.
One thing about here is everyone minds their own business, and the place was so quiet, especially when I got to my my cousins. like the neighborhood is so quiet. I was like, what? Like compared to Ghana, there's a lot of noise
You
everywhere.
have kids running around, stuff like that.
People are always looking for problems and all that. So yeah,
What do you mean? People always looking for problems?
yeah. But maybe you don't know what someone is going through. The person might just want to bring that kind of anger on you. So,
Yeah.
but for here, everyone minds their own business. Everyone goes about doing their own thing and all that. So, yeah,
Okay.
you pretty much also have to adjust to it because let me tell you, coming from Africa is and coming to live here, you would find it really boring unless being
Yes. It
people like
gets
that.
boring. Yeah.
Even in school, it's not every time that it's gonna be fun because everyone has stuff to do. People
So you
go to,
don't have like friends to hang out with, like back when you just hang out with your friends outside the house. So little things like that, you don't have that yet.
I've got little cousins, so
No, I'm talking at school, like when you're back at,
yeah, I did have friends. I had friends. I even at a point started going to the court with some of them. Yeah.
but you guys hang out like how you hang out back home after playing. You
Oh
just,
yeah.
yeah, okay,
I used to go to their rooms. They used to come to mine. Sometimes um I'm not like a party person, but there was this one time we went for a party, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I just told them I'm not sure I'm going to try it again. So yeah,
that's good.
I'm
You
gonna
know what you want. That's good. Anything else like when it comes to culture shock that is different from here and back home?
try. Hmm, I'd say all the facilities and everything they
Okay.
in here, so you just have to make good use of it. Yeah, it's not like back at home where tennis courts are limited and all that. For here, almost every neighborhood has a tennis court,
Has a
so
tennis court, yeah. So tennis courts everywhere.
you just have to make good use of it.
That's good. So what are your goals from now on? Now you're here, you're studying. What is next for you after you graduate, obviously? So what are you planning on doing?
So for me, offering cybersecurity. I don't know if you've heard somewhere, but some people actually become like cybersecurity whatever. There are like many branches, but some don't actually go to school to get it. So I'm currently like working on these separate certificates.
Okay,
I'm currently working on this Google cybersecurity certificate. So I'll probably
nice.
finish with that course by March next year, and yeah, that should be my first certificate back. So yeah, and yeah, I guess that's it. And I would really love to play professional tennis. So during my summer and all that, I've already started registering for some future tournaments.
That's
Hope,
good.
yeah, because it's really tough to get into a futures. Even the qualifiers, it's really tough to get in. So um, I would really like to kind of have that experience because I like how I always like how watching Grand Slams and everything, the atmosphere, especially the Australian Open. I
Yeah.
really, really love it, especially when an Australian is playing that kind of support.
Mm-hmm.
And I would definitely love to have my family come over here to watch me play on a big stage like that. So yeah,
That's awesome. Well, we're wishing you all the best. I
thank
hope your dream comes true. And well, we're here if you need support, if you need anything. We
yeah,
talk almost all the time, so I have no concerns about you reaching out. So
yeah,
now, what's the piece of advice you give to? I know you talked about making sure they have a good scholarship before they come.
yeah.
What piece of advice will you give to all the new recruits or future recruits that want to play college sports?
Number one is communicate. You have
Yeah,
to
that's true.
literally talk about every step you are undergoing to the person who's helping you, because um you don't expect that person to keep reaching out to you, because
Exactly. Yeah.
you need help. You need help. Don't make the person feel like um the person is overdoing his or her part. So
Right.
you definitely need to communicate, and please try to get your transcripts and everything in before you start even speaking to a school, because sometimes the coaches don't don't like African players, because we really delay during
The
the practice.
process.
Yeah,
Now, I do remember I told you guys when I was in Ghana that you have to start at least the latest a year ahead.
yeah, yeah,
And people wait to start 3 months, 6 months.
yeah.
It's kind of late.
Letting the coach know you are still in high school is better than you letting him know you're out of high school, but you still don't have, because it doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he or she might feel like you're gonna waste time, so person might just pass, because they have a lot of emails coming in every day. Even the schools that are not good, they still have emails coming in every time. So
And now schools are recruiting for 2025.
exactly,
This is how far ahead they are. They were like 2024 is already set. They're now recruiting for 2025. So just imagine trying to
that's
get a scholarship for 2024 when the school already gave out all the money. You're
yeah,
just gonna get the leftovers.
that's true, because
Yeah.
they might end up just telling you their seniors are gonna leave. So when the seniors leave, then they can give you some money.
Yep, that's it. But if you tell them early, they will start putting some money on the side for you.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes. So you have to get your transcripts in, and most importantly, your UTR. Your UTR.
play a lot of tournaments.
A lot of tournaments. Any tournament that comes, try to get in and play it. And even if you don't make it for it, like this is the trick. This is what I've seen as a trick for the UTR. When you're playing someone who's higher than you, at least try to stretch that match. Get more games, win more
Yeah,
games, gonna increase your UTR. So yeah.
yeah. Don't just go and give everything away 6-0, 6-0. Get some games
I
out of them.
remember I used to do that. Anytime I'm gonna play someone who's higher than me, it's like wow, another loss.
Yeah, even if it's a loss, you're always gonna get an experience, right? When
That's
you lose, you learn from that. That's how Djokovic used to lose against all these big players. Now nobody's beating him because he's learning from his mistakes. He's taking that, he's working on it, and he's coming up. He's coming back better. So
yes,
yeah,
that's true.
awesome, awesome. Well, anything else you want to add? Thank you so much. This was super helpful. Anything else you want to add to our conversation today?
Um, I'll just say just try to get all your stuff in. Like as soon as you if you know you're in high school now,
Hmm.
as soon as you graduate, just try to get your transcript and take your SAT. You can even take your SAT while you're still in.
Right. And they can start the NCA or the NAI process while they're in high school.
You can start everything while you're still in high school, because
Exactly.
graduating, it's you might end up having these eligibility issues and all that. So
That's true.
just try to get all your stuff in, and you'll be good to go. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Any plans for Christmas and New Year's?
I'll just play tennis.
Just still playing tennis.
Play with my left hand, because
Yeah, I know you broke your finger. I'm so sorry to hear that.
yeah, that's
Take
that's
it easy. Let it heal before.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Don't play on it. Give it time to heal so that you can, get back into it.
I'll definitely do that, because we've got a big season coming up. So
Exactly. Yeah. So you want to get ready for that.
yeah.
Well, Ivan, thank you so much. I want to use this time to also say that you're now working with, helping us get
Yeah.
more players over here. So, Ivan, is helping us get most players from Ghana to the US on a scholarship. He's helping them navigate through the recruiting process, meaning the NCAA eligibility or NAIA, the evaluation process. He kind of walks them through the whole process, the interview process, the application process, a lot of steps that recruits need. He's currently helping us with that for players in Ghana, and he's actually helping us with some players in Benin as well. I remember you will help us with Enoch. So thank you so much for that. We appreciate you, and we're really happy to have you on the Inter Recruit team. And we hope we can help more players find scholarship and come here, to play for universities.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the goal. That yeah, and best of luck. I know you injured your finger, but best of luck for the season coming up. Any other UTR events, future events you're going to be playing, let us know. We're just going to be sending best wishes to you for you to perform well, so that you can achieve your dream.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Well, I know I'm going to let you go. I know you're busy. You have guests waiting.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
yeah. You're welcome.
Okay. Okay, Ivan. Have a wonderful day and Merry Christmas. Okay.
You too.
Okay. Bye bye.